Okay, well, I want to welcome everybody to the webinar and call today. For those that I haven't met in person, my name is Judy Gilman, and my background is as a family nurse practitioner and diabetes specialist. I have had a passion for helping people with diabetes and to prevent diabetes for a long time. Let me just see if I can open up my webcam here and say hello in person. Sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. Hey, there I am.
Hi, Judy. This is Bill.
Hi. Thanks, Bill. I'm glad that you got on. Great. Perfect. Glad to hear your voice. So just for a moment, I'm going to stay on the webcam, and then I'm going to take that down. I am really excited today to have everybody on. We're going to be talking today about something that I often post on Facebook about and have participated in myself and feel very strongly about, and that's the 12-week coaching wellness program, transformation program that Unicity has. And I'm excited today to have two guests that are going to share their stories with us. And so I'm just going to turn my webcam off here for a minute. I'll come back up again later, but I want you to be able to see the screen clearly. So what you're seeing on the screen now, for those of you who are on the webinar part of this, this is a website, and I'll email those of you that let me know that you are on. Define Your Why, that's the letter Y.com. And when you go to that site, you see these pictures, and they're before and after 90-day pictures. And over on the right side of the screen, you're going to see the changes that they experienced in their health by looking at their lab results, whether it's glucose related or triglycerides or cholesterol. You'll see the body fat changes that these people experienced, the weight changes that they had. And what always strikes me so much in these before and after pictures is look at their faces in the after picture. That really says a lot to me. I do want to encourage all of you, if you have any questions as we're going along, I'd be happy to pause and take your question as we go, so don't hesitate to do that. So the other thing I wanted to explain about these pictures is these are people who have entered a contest that the company has, that Unicity has, and that is called the 90-Day Challenge. And I'm just going to click on that here real quickly just so that I can bring up this document that shows you how simple it is to enter this contest. Now, you don't have to be in the transformation to be in the contest. So I know some of you who are calling in are on products but may not have done the actual coaching program yet. But that doesn't matter. You can still be in the contest. And so it's very simple to enter as long as you're taking any of the core products. And what's so cool about this is you can see every quarter, the grand prize winner gets $5,000. That's cash. And two people are considered runners-up. They get $2,500 apiece. And then 5 additional people get $1,000 apiece. So the company is very, very generous in doing this. And down here, you can see to register for that contest, you just go to myprimechallenge.com. And then you just follow the directions. You have to, the prime vision, that just means what do you envision you want to accomplish in 90 days so that you will feel like you are in the prime of your life. And you have to put in your measurements and your weight. So I just wanted to explain how those people got their pictures on the screen. Let me just go back here now and put those back up. Oops.
I'm impressed that she could do this. I'm going to be doing one, but what I wanted to see was how she did it.
I'm impressed at the technology and that I can do it as well. So,
hear me?
I will just, before I get started, just remind everybody that we have several people on the call. If you're out and about in a noisier place, of course, you can put your device on mute, and you might want to take some notes as we go. I'm just excited to be able to hear our guests today in their journey with us. And I'm going to leave these pictures up on the screen so you can just continue to see them, because they're, as you see, it doesn't matter what the age is, what the gender is, what the size is, what the fitness level is, how much you know about nutrition or don't know about nutrition. Everybody who goes into the transformation program just has, everybody has different goals and everybody has different outcomes. But I want to tell you that it has been in place now for over 3 years, and we have had thousands of people complete the program, and everybody who completes the program has 100% success. And what's exciting about that is the company said, hey, this is great stuff. We're going to offer 100% money back guarantee to anybody who completes the program and doesn't achieve their goals. So having said all of that, I know that Barbara has to move on to some other daily life activities, which involve getting her grandson here pretty soon. So Barbara, I want to welcome you to the call, Barbara Newell. Hi, Barb, are you there?
I am, Judy.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you for having me.
Thanks for being here. I know you're busy today. I'll just tell the group that's on today that Barb's professional background is in nursing, and she lives in California. For those of us here in Montana and the Midwest, we would like some of your sunshine. But anyway, I'm very grateful. As I said, I know that you're needing to pick up your grandson shortly. So, Barbara, before you went on the transformation, I believe you were taking some Unicity products before you enrolled in that. So could you just tell us briefly about what products you were taking and the core products and any results that you saw just from those core products and what they were?
Well, Judy, yeah, I did. I started on the balance and matcha, so the core products, all of them. And at that point in time, because I have a lot of food allergies, I could not take the complete because it has dairy and soy in it. So I was so happy when the vegan came out and was able to take that as well. But the matcha, I really helped with my energy level, and that was a real challenge for me at the time to sustain energy, and so that was one of my favorite products. And I'll be real honest with you, with the balance, I wasn't nearly as full in taking it as I needed to be. So I did lose a few pounds, I think maybe about 5 pounds, but nothing significant. And so it wasn't until I made a decision to get serious about my health and get serious about my career that I made the kind of progress I wanted to see. So it was my level of commitment, not the products, that held me back in the beginning.
Okay. I appreciate you sharing that. I was just talking with another person who had started Balance just not very, month and a half or so ago, and that was exactly what she said. When I talked to her yesterday, she said, I love Balance. And I had talked to her before, and yeah, it was okay. She was tolerated. But she admitted, to start with, I didn't take it regularly. And then when she got serious and really did start taking it regularly, she noticed a huge difference. Anyway, so...
Absolutely.
Yeah. Other than, I know you just wanted to experience the transformation program, but what was your primary health goal that you wanted to achieve when you enrolled in the transformation program?
Well, it was really twofold. At the beginning of the year, I have always had really normal lab results and have done my best to eat a really healthy diet and exercise regularly. But my LDL, for the first time in my life, which is my bad cholesterol, was elevated above normal. And then my blood sugar was approaching the pre-diabetic level. And also my blood pressure was periodically spiking, as well as my weight climbing. And so these were all just really signals to me that it was definitely time to do something different with my life.
Okay.
So those were my primary goals, is
Yeah.
to make corrections in those areas.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned your food sensitivities and allergies.
Mm-hmm.
Again, could you just share what those are and then share how the coach was able to work with you? Because I know that part of the transformation program is nutritional counseling. So tell us a little bit about specifically what, again, the foods that you have to avoid and how the coach was able to work with you.
Sure, absolutely. So I'm highly anaphylactically really allergic to shellfish, and dairy, gluten, and soy also cause me some significant reactions if I consume them as well. So what the coach did is using the nutrition guide, we took a look at that, and together we chose foods that I could eat from the nutrition guide and that I enjoyed eating. I think that that was one of the things that she helped me a lot with, is not only to find foods I could eat, but to find foods I wanted to eat. Because one of my big goals was to make a lifetime correction in what I was doing and what I was eating. So that was really part of what she and I were trying to discover, is what are some things. And so we, both of us, she was really good about doing research, and I did some research and found some new foods, and we evaluated the nutritional content and the glycemic index of those foods. And so we kept modifying that nutrition guide until we found a reasonable amount of foods that I could choose from that were low in glycemic index and I could consume with my 3 meals a day. So that's what we did to kind of modify that to meet my allergy sensitivities.
Okay, great. So it sounds like the coach was very flexible and resourceful to help you find acceptable options. That's a lot of restrictions that you have. Yeah, that's so important that, I mean, everybody has unique needs and challenges and so everybody that I have talked to that's gone through the transformation program really appreciates how this is, excuse me, so individualized, and they really are flexible in helping people meet their needs. So one other thing, Barbara, did you have any physical limitations that your coach had to adapt your fitness program around?
Absolutely. So I have spinal arthritis and have a number of discs that are very fragile and deteriorated, and so strength training has always been a huge challenge to try to incorporate that. And so there are a number of physical limitations that my physician puts on me in regards to an exercise program. So again, we did a lot of the same sort of things that we did with the nutrition side of it, is that she would do some research and she would send me various exercises, etc., and I would try a few of those and see how I tolerated those, and if I didn't, then we would take those out of my program and we would try to add something different in its place. And so it was a constant moving target, but by the end of the 12 weeks, we had come up with a fairly good program that I've kind of continued on to this day, and I did have an exacerbation during the transformation program, and so that kind of threw a little bit of a hiccup in. But since we came up with the program that I'm on now, and it's been a number of months since I completed it, I haven't had any additional exacerbations of my of headaches and things like that, which is what I tend to get when I've got my spine out of alignment.
Sure. Okay. Well, excellent. I'm so glad to hear that, because I know we have had people all the way from people who are quadriplegics in wheelchairs on up through triathletes and marathon runners. So they really do adapt the fitness program, and people like yourself with those kinds of limitations have to really be careful. So it's good to hear. So Barbara, I know you have to go, but before you do, I know everybody wants to hear, where did you start as far as your labs and weight and body fat? Where did you end up? If you'd share that with us.
Sure, absolutely. So we had talked about my LDL, my blood sugar, and my blood pressure. And so at the beginning of during the 12-week program, my LDL dropped 13% and went from the abnormal range into mid-range of normal. My blood sugar was at the very top it was considered abnormal at 98 and dropped to 85, so well within the normal range. So that was phenomenal, and my blood pressure was ranging 130, 134 over 78, and now it's down like 116 over 72. So those were all exactly the kind of numbers I wanted to see on my health report card. And during the transformation program, I lost 26 pounds, a total of 14% body fat. And I also lost 6.5 inches off of my waist and 7.25 inches off of my hips.
Wow. And so you said it's been a few months since you finished. So have you had any continuing results from those final results at the end of the 12 weeks?
Yes, I've actually lost a total of 43 pounds now altogether as of this week, and my measurements and my waist and hips continue to drop, and my body fat percentage is now down 18% from the original number that I started with. So I was definitely in the obese range when it came to body fat, and now I'm down into the normal range of body fat, which was my big goal, is to get into the healthy range. And so I've done that both from a perspective of all my health numbers and indicators as well as with my weight. So I couldn't be more pleased with the results I've gotten from using the Unicity products.
Wow, that's just amazing. And I have to tell the group that I was with Barbara a couple of weeks ago in California, and she looks amazing. And I know from what you said how this continues to go on and on. You learn the tools during the program that you need to have continued success. Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. One of the things when people ask me, one of the things I tell them is that, I learned the tools for success. And, having a background, I go to school and I am in a nutritional counseling program, degree program. So nutrition is something that I, study and know pretty well. And I have 2 family members who are personal trainers, and I've had personal trainers for years. So I went in with quite a little attitude and a chip on my shoulder as to I wasn't quite sure what these people were going to teach me kind of attitude, but I couldn't have been more wrong, because I did learn a lot of different things, and I learned it from, I think most importantly, from a very different perspective and from an objective person that was just there to help support me and create a plan that I could execute for the rest of my life and give me the tools that I needed for success.
Okay. Well, excellent. I again, so appreciate you taking the time. I know you have to run, get your grandson, so I'm going to let you go, Barbara, and I'm going to bring on my next guest, Bill Johnston. Bill, I want to thank you also for taking the time out of your busy day to join us. Can you hear me okay?
I believe so. How about me?
And I can hear you. Awesome. I was waiting for that voice. So I'm just going to let you share where you live and what your business background has been. Bill, if you would start out with that.
Well, Bill Johnston, Neenah, Wisconsin. We got about 8 inches of snow out here, but it's kind of pretty, I guess. Been involved with Unicity for some time and have seen the changes in the products and the enhancements, and have had the pleasure over the years using them and improving my health because of them. Okay. And was certainly excited when this transformation program came out, as as well as some of the products that you spoke of earlier.
Mm-hmm. And like I said earlier, everybody who knows me knows my passion for helping people who have diabetes so they can prevent complications, or best of all, help them prevent diabetes before it's a full-blown diagnosis. And Bill, you and I have had several conversations over time. So would you mind just briefly sharing your personal diabetes-related story? Could you do that?
Well, I'll go back to the cholesterol numbers, and they've always been good because I've been a faithful follower of the BIOS Life product, and so I was cholesterol in the 120 range, and my LDLs. I couldn't find my sheet, but the LDLs were running probably in the 75s, and the triglycerides were running in 80, or all real good. But I struggled with the glucose numbers. And so I was a bit frustrated. Then they came up with a product which was called Slim, which is now called Balance for Cholesterol. And, gee, that had a difference. But my fasting numbers were not, I couldn't get them to move. They just kind of hung around the 126, 136, just not in the place that I learned was the place that they shouldn't be. So I tried everything, and it just wasn't, the recipe wasn't there. It wasn't working. So then they came up with Slim G, or now called Balance for Glucose, and boy, it was like dropping a rock. It just went down. And in 5 weeks, for those that are concerned or know about the A1C number thing, I took my A1C from 6.4, which is, you know, Judy, that's kind of like, well, we ought to be looking at a glucose tolerance test and what is it, metformin and, you know, all that stuff. And I just didn't want to go there. So in 5 weeks of taking just the Balance G, I dropped it to 5.
Wow.
6.4 to 5. And, you know, you can tell the listeners, that's huge. That's, what, 18% reduction in A1C in 5 weeks? It's almost like a fairy tale.
It is.
It's true.
It is amazing.
So I did okay then, huh, Judy?
You did okay. Balanced glucose, like you said, is just it's specifically formulated. It helps with all of the other things that we're concerned about with weight and lipids. But if it's glucose is your real problem, that, like you said, it can drop it like a rock. It's as effective as 1 or even 2 diabetes medications. And to have that happen in 5 weeks, an A1C test, for those of you who aren't familiar with that, it's a blood test that reflects your blood glucose average over the previous 2 to 3 months. And so that means it really did drop from the very first dose. And that's what I tell people. It will improve your glucose from the very first dose. So that's just amazing.
I will also tell you, yesterday I went to the gym to work out, which I enjoy doing, and I was feeling okay, but I was kind of mindful, because of the coaches, of watching what I was doing and eating, and so I exercised and did my weightlifting and things, and I checked my numbers, and this was about 5 o'clock. My glucose was 81, which is good.
It's excellent.
You know.
Normal.
And and I hadn't taken any Balance because I hadn't eaten yet, because you typically take it 15 minutes before you're going to have your 2 largest meals. So I was very pleased knowing where I was at and what I could do. And I decided, well, 80, maybe I won't do my 30 minutes of cardio. Might drop it a little bit low, and maybe it will, maybe it won't, but I'll do cardio today. And so it really does help to balance that swing that you get as you eat, the spikes and the troughs and all that stuff that you CDEs talk about. But all I know is I poke myself, numbers better. Yeah. Pretty simple, you know. And I tell you, taking the product, it will cost you money because you are going to have to buy different clothes. Because what you were wearing before, you're going to have to invest in some smaller clothes because I was able to, because of the products and the slim and the balance and all this, I've thrown away. I got another shirt and pants and stuff that I have to throw away in sport coat because I'm no longer almost a 3X. I'm a tight large and a very happy extra large, and hope to get down even farther. Went from about a size 48-inch waist or size 48 pant down to about like a size 39 right now. So flirting with the idea of getting to size 36 by the end of the year, and I'm going to lose weight. More importantly, I'm going to lose fat, which is what we really want to lose between now and the end of the year, and there's 2 food holidays in the way. But I'm confident that I'm going to be taking down probably another 17 pounds between now and the end of the year because of the contest.
Yeah, I have watched you on Facebook. I haven't seen you in person for a while. I look forward to seeing you in January. But I want to ask you, Bill, when you decided, I mean, these are some impressive results. When you decided to enroll in the transformation program, you had switched to the balanced glucose, and so that was improved. So what was your #1 health-related goal when you entered the transformation program, and how did your coach help you achieve that? If you want to share that part.
I just wanted to be smaller. I just didn't want to be carrying that extra weight around, and I like to cook, and you have to have a recipe to follow on making chili. If you want to make chili, there's just certain stuff you got to put in there. You got to put the cumin in. You got to put some meat in. You got to put these certain things in, or it's not going to turn out well. And what the coach, I knew the products worked, but I didn't have the right recipe. And the tracking, the phone call that they do, these coaches are tremendous. And as the gal earlier spoke about, is the fine-tuning about, well, Bill, you really had a little bit too much on the carbs that day. We got to cut down, and you need to have more protein because you're for what you're doing, and et cetera, et cetera. So what they do is they give you a recipe, and they're able to, well, if you're going to cook, you got to have a spoon and kind of sample it a little bit and see where you're at. And you don't make any big changes. You got to make small changes, and those will have the big impact. So the transformation program for me was, I'm 68 years old. I've got a long time to eat wrong and learn bad habits. And this caused me to see what it was that I was doing that caused the problems that caused me to be the way that I was. And I just didn't want to be there anymore. And I knew the products worked, and I knew something was missing. And that was the right recipe, and that's what the transformation program is, if I can use an analogy.
Yeah, and that's a great analogy. That really is, because, and I can remember the CEO, Stuart Hughes of Unicity, saying when we first introduced the transformation program is, we absolutely know that our products work. They're clinically proven. The results are repeated over and over. But what's missing is the education and the tools to continue this. Well, not just to continue it, but to learn it first and then be able to continue it ongoing. And so I think recipe is a great analogy. So, well, thank you so much, Bill. You're really an inspiration. Thank you for sharing your age. Like I said, this is good for everybody. So I'll let you go, but thanks again so much for sharing that.
Oh, my pleasure. You do such a great job presenting information. You're so very knowledgeable. So thank you for asking me to be on the call.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for your kind words. All right, everybody, I don't want to keep you too long, so I think probably everybody has understood from these great stories, and I'm not going to share mine today. I'll do that another time. Many of you have already heard it, but in the interest of time, I just want to pull up this document because you want to know what it costs, right? How much is this going to cost? And like Bill said, it's going to cost you even more than this because you're going to have to get a lovely new wardrobe. But there's two pricing options. You can do the preferred customer option. Now, several of you on the webinar or on the call today are already preferred customers, or you have a wholesale account with Unicity through me, so you'll recognize these terms. But if you're a preferred customer and you want to stay with that option for the entire 12 weeks, all inclusive, it's only $17.95. I mean, if you were going to go out and hire a trainer and get a gym membership and do all of these things, that is really inexpensive. I know it sounds like a lot of money when you look at it, but it really is not. So what does it include? Well, you get 4 Unicity products. You get Balance, because Balance is going to control your appetite. It's going to control your glucose and insulin levels. It's going to help with your lipids. It just balances everything. It even balances the hunger hormone leptin. So one of the hardest things when people are really trying to be very health conscious with their food, they're hungry all the time. So Balance really helps with that. The other product is Complete. That's the high protein meal replacement that we recommend for breakfast. And as Barbara said, it now comes in several versions. So we have something for everybody. You can get the regular vanilla, and then we have vegan vanilla, and we also now have a very delicious chocolate shake. So, and then matcha, Barbara mentioned that as well. It just keeps your energy level up. Having a matcha a day is just, and it's not just for energy. It is the highest, it is the product with the highest antioxidant content on the market. It is a ceremonial grade green tea that has so many health benefits. I'd be happy to share those with you, but I'm not going to go into that now. And then Live Fiber is psyllium fiber with an additional, 12 to 15 herbs specifically for bowel health. So this is just a gentle cleanse while you're going through the program. You have this dynamic and easy to use online tracking system, which is so valuable as you're going through it with your coach, because you put everything in that you eat and drink, and your supplements and your everything, hydration, sleep, stress level, so that they can counsel you in the next call. And then there's a call for 30 minutes a week, every week for 12 weeks. So you're on the phone. You can take that on the road, at home, whatever. They set up a time that works for both you and the coach. And then the personalized meal plan. Again, no matter what your food sensitivities or preferences are, they work with that. The fitness program, I addressed that before. It doesn't matter what, if you're a couch potato now or not, but they will personalize it so that your fitness is improved. You have your own personal success team that you choose, and they're available to cheer you on, so to speak. And then you get it's called a transformation starter pack, and there's extra things in there just to help you have some additional success. So that's the preferred customer option. And then there is the wholesale business options. And so as many of you know, in any direct sales business, you can set up a wholesale account, which is exactly the same as a business account, but it gives you everything at wholesale prices. You can choose whether or not you want to have anything to do with the business and earn any money. You don't have to, and there's no pressure from the company. But I always offer this to people. That has the upfront payment for everything that was listed above is $13.95. All the products, coaching, tracking system. And then if you have this wholesale account, you can also set up a payment plan. If that's easier for you than putting it out all at once, I think the extra $100 in here when you do it this way, but $695 the first month and $400 the second and third month, and then they ship out your products each month. And of course, anybody can be on any of the individual products that are, meet your needs and your budget that we use in the transformation program, and then you're still eligible to enter that Prime Challenge. So, does anybody have any questions? I'm going to open up the chat screen here, so if there's any questions at all. So, I did want to also let everybody know that in December I have two presentations lined up. One will be on Thursday, December 4th, and I'm going to be talking about inflammation on that one, and that will be at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And then on December 17th, which is a Wednesday again at noon, I'm going to be talking about some issues that are primarily relate to women. We'll be talking about a little bit about hormones and fibrocystic breasts and osteoporosis, polycystic ovary syndrome. If any of those topics are of interest to you, we'll do a little women's overview on those. So you can again go to Define Your Why, the defineyourwhy.com site, and look at all of this in more detail. And also, if you are interested in getting started, I mean, it's a great time of the year. I think this is the time of the year that I went through my transformation program. I ended it on the end of December. I mean, you think, oh, I can't do that during the holidays. I'll miss everything and all of that. But what's great about it is you learn how to eat healthy even during holidays, and then you don't pack on those 10 pounds that people normally do over the holidays. So whether you choose balance or the whole program, it's a great option. And just one last thing, if you decide to do the transformation program, within 48 business hours during the business week, the coach will call you to set up a time that works for both of you, and then once you get your products in the following week, the coaching calls start. So if there are no questions, I'm going to conclude that for today. I thank all of you for listening, and if you would like to have the recording and I did everything correctly, you can let me know, and if you want to forward it on to anybody, that would be great. When I do my presentations in December, if you want to bring a guest on with you, I would offer your choice of 4 free matchas or 4 free balances or 4 free completes. So think about that, who you might invite to come. All right, everybody, thanks so much. I'm going to log off. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Search up for you. You want that or not?